Welcome to Chisholm Trail 61. Today, we taking one of probably the most famous, popular sandwiches in America, and we're going to turn it into a casserole. We're going to do a Philly cheesesteak casserole. And I'm going to show you how I do that coming up right now. Okay, first thing you're going to need for your Philly cheesesteak casserole is in my skillet here. I got about 2 tablespoons of bacon grease. Now you can use olive oil, you can use vegetable oil, whatever you prefer. I just prefer to use bacon grease. To that, I got 1 small onion that I diced up. I'm just going to throw it in there. Then I got 1 green bell pepper that I diced up. I just cut up in slices. And I got 1 red bell pepper that I just cut up in slices. I'm just going to put all that in there, and you can hear them sizzling. I've had that skillet heating up there. I just want to cook these down till they get translucent. And once they get translucent, then we'll go on with the next step. But this here probably take, 3 to 5 minutes here to get them translucent. So whenever they get cooked down where they're ready, I'll bring you back and we'll show you the next step. Okay, we got our onions sauteed there and they're translucent, and our bell peppers is softened down. So they starting to soften down real good. So what we're going to do, we're just going to rake this over to one side there. And what we're going to do, we got 2 pounds of ground beef. We're just going to drop in there. We're just going to break it up in the skillet there. What we're going to do as we brown this up, we're just going to incorporate our bell peppers and our onions into our ground beef. I like to get a little brown started on my ground beef before I start mixing them together, just to get a start on it. We're just going to keep stirring this around and mixing it up until we get our ground beef browned up. Once it gets browned good, then we're going to drain off any excess grease that's in the skillet. So it'll take about 7 or 8 minutes for it to get browned up good. We'll drain off the excess grease, and then when we get that done, we'll put it back in the skillet and we'll bring you back at that point. Okay, we got our meat browned up there good, drained everything. And so now what we're going to do, notice we haven't put any seasonings in it yet. That's because we didn't want to drain them off when we drained our ground beef. We're going to put probably about a teaspoon to a teaspoon and a half of salt in here. We're going to put about 3/4 of a teaspoon of black pepper. We're going to put probably about a teaspoon of garlic powder. We're going to put probably about a teaspoon of onion powder. We're going to put us probably about a half a teaspoon to a teaspoon of Cajun seasoning. Now, I'm using the Tony Zachary's Creole seasoning. If you want some good Cajun seasoning, you just can't beat Tony Zachary's. I use Tony Zachary's for everything. I'm going to give that a little bit of a stir there before I add anything else. Man, that looks and smells good already, and we ain't nowhere near through with it yet. All right, I'm going to go ahead and turn the burner on medium heat there. And to that, we're going to add us a little secret ingredient here. We're going to add us a package of brown gravy. Yeah, I know you wouldn't think brown gravy go in Philly cheesesteak, but just you wait and see. And to that, we're going to add 1 cup of water. And we're going to give that a real good stir in there. I'll turn the heat up just a little bit more, almost a medium high, but not quite on medium high. I just want to bring this up till it starts simmering a little bit, which won't take long. It won't take just a minute for it to start simmering. I want to be sure that I got all my spices in there really well. Now what we're going to do here, like I said, we're going to let this come to a simmer. We're going to let it simmer for exactly 3 minutes. And then we're going to move over to the island and we'll bring you back at that point. Like I said, once it comes to a simmer, 3 minutes. And then we're going to cut the heat off and move over to the island. We'll see you over there. Okay, we're back over at the island and we got our meat mixture off of the burner over there. And what I got in the bowl here, I got 2 cups of bisquick, the bisquick bacon mix. And to that, I'm going to add 1 egg, which I'm going to beat up right fast like. Just sort of mix it up a little bit. There's my oven getting ready over there. Now I'm just going to pour this egg into 1 cup of milk. Again, that's 2 cups of bisquick there, 1 cup of milk, 1 egg. I'm just going to hit this a quick lick before I pour it into my bisquick. I'm going to dump it into my bisquick there. I'm going to mix it around a little bit. Let y'all see what I'm doing there. Just mix it around some there. Just get it smooth. You ain't got to, beat it to death. Just get it smooth. Here I got a 9 by 13 casserole dish. Now I did spray my casserole dish, so it's sprayed it with cooking spray. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pour my bisquick mix out into the bottom of my 9 by 13 pan. Now, I'm going to be perfectly honest with all of you. I don't really like Philly cheesesteak. But in a casserole, it's completely different. The taste is different, everything else. So, and we're not going to fool with that. We're just going to leave that sitting right there just like that. And here we have our meat mixture. We're just going to spread our meat mixture, dump it right in on top of our bisquick mixture. I don't hardly ever use bisquick, so it's hard for me to remember what to call that. I got some names I could call it, but I don't. But I don't never use bisquick. It's rare that I use bisquick. I use preferably just flour and whether it be self-rising flour or whether it be all-purpose flour, you know, and putting the baking powder and stuff in it. But this recipe here, it works better with the bisquick, so that's why we're using the bisquick in this. There's 2 or 3 recipes that the bisquick just actually works a little bit better with, and this just happens to be one of them. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to try to sort of knock the top off of that and get it down sort of leveled out there. Like I said, I'm not going to stir it in together. Set that over there. And here, I got 1 8-ounce bag of shredded mozzarella cheese. I'm just going to put it on the top of it there. Pull the sleeve up some. You know, this mozzarella is a sort of a fine cheese. This here is cut really fine here. And we just want to get us a good layer of this mozzarella cheese on it. What I want to stick to my hand there, ain't it? But it'll be all right. Knock it. A little clump there. Get that broke up. We'll go all the way to the outside with it. Just spread it around good. That's a whole 8-ounce bag of mozzarella cheese now. Because you know what makes a Philly cheesesteak is the cheese, really. It wouldn't be a Philly cheesesteak if it didn't have a lot of cheese on it. So, yeah. And here, I got some provolone cheese. And I'm just going to lay this right on top of my mozzarella cheese there. Just, like I said, it's what makes the Philly cheesesteak is the cheese that's on it. Now what we're going to do, we're going to take, this is going to go into a 375-degree oven, and it's going to be in there for about 25 to 30 minutes. We're going to get our cheese good and melty and bubbly, and then we'll take it out. We let it sit for about 20 minutes or so, then we'll bring you back. We're going to cut into it and see what it looks like on the inside. Okay, we got our Philly cheesesteak casserole out of the oven there. We're going to cut into it here and get us a little bit out. We're going to see, can we get us, just dip us some out here. Man, I can't wait to get in this. Look at all that cheese on top of there. Look at that there. Man, is that good or what? I might set that down and get my thing back up again. Boy, that's like a cheese stick almost. Look at that. Man, you talk about some good eating. We fixing to have us some good eating here. I can't wait to get into this. Cut me off a little piece of it here and get me a bite. Man, all that cheese. Take you 5 minutes to cut through the cheese, but believe me, it'll be worth it in the end. That's it. It'll be worth it in the end. Man, what you talking about? Remember, I told y'all I'm not a fan of the Philly cheesesteak sandwich. But I like that Philly cheesesteak casserole. I can eat that all day. Hey, if you would, give the old video a thumbs up there. Like, share, comment, subscribe to our channel. We appreciate all of you do. We appreciate all of you take time every day to watch our videos. Philly cheesesteak casserole. Hey, we'll see you on the next one.